What do you see?
I'm seeing what Adam had seen on the morning of his creation. The miracle, moment by moment, of naked existence.
Is it agreeable?
Neither agreeable nor disagreeable. It just is. The objects around us are nothing more, nothing less than what they are. A transience that is still eternal life, a perpetual perishing, that is at the same time pure being. A bundle of minute, unique particulars in which, by some unspeakable and yet self-evident paradox, is to be seen the divine source of all existence.
Oh.
The beatific vision, Satchitananda, being, awareness, bliss. For the first time I understand precisely and completely what those prodigious syllables refer to. The Dharma body of the Buddha is anything that I, or rather the blessed not I, release for a moment from my throttling embrace to look at.
What about spatial relationships?
Place and distance have ceased to be of much interest. Everything around us is glowing with living light. Perceiving in terms of intensity of existence, profundity of significance, relationships within a pattern. Not that the category of space has been abolished. Space is still here, but without predominance. The mind is primarily concerned, not with measures and locations, but with being and meaning.
How do you feel about time?
There seems to be plenty of it. But exactly how much is entirely irrelevant. I could look at my watch, but that is in another universe. This actual experience is of an indefinite duration, or alternatively of a perpetual present made up of one continually changing apocalypse. This is how one ought to see how things really are.
What about human relations?
One ought to be able to see these objects as infinitely important. And human beings are still more infinitely important. But the participation in the manifest glory of things leaves no room for the ordinary and necessary concerns of human existence. Persons are selves. And I'm now a not self. Perceiving and being the not self of the things around me. The ordinary ego self of myself and others seems not indeed distasteful, but enormously irrelevant. The experience is a deliverance from the world of selves, of time, of moral judgments and utilitarian considerations, the world of self-assertion, of cocksureness, of overvalued words and worship notions. If you started in the wrong way, everything that happened would be a proof of the conspiracy against you. It would all be self-validating. You could not draw a breath without knowing it was part of the plot.
So you think you know where madness lies?
Yes.
And you couldn't control it?
No, I could not control it. If one began with fear and hate as the major premise, one would have to go on to the conclusion.
Would you be able to fix your attention on what the Tibetan Book of the Dead calls the clear light? Would it keep the evil away if you could hold it? Or would you not be able to hold it?
Perhaps. I could. But only if there was somebody there to tell me about the clear light. One could not do it by oneself. That's the point, I suppose, of the Tibetan ritual. Someone sitting there all the time and telling you what's what. William Blake wrote, "If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is. Infinite." But I can see now. The man who comes back through the door will never be quite the same as the man who went out. He will be wiser, but less cocksure, happier, but less self-satisfied, humbler in acknowledging his ignorance, yet better equipped to understand the relationship of words to things, of systematic reasoning to the unfathomable mystery which it tries, forever vainly, to comprehend.